everybody, it is Professor Parrish, and we are on week 5 of English 122. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about this week because there is a lot going on, and it's a very fast-paced week. And I wanted to say before we start that I know that week 6 is already going to be opened. If you by chance get done with everything in week 5 early and you want to move ahead, that's fine. But one thing I would ask is to please do not do the thesis and outline assignment for paper 4 that's next week until you watch the lecture video that I'll have posted, because the final paper has a lot of guidelines to it, and so I want to spend time and go over it. I've had some students in the past try to do the thesis and outline early and then get really confused. So to just make it easier, if you want to work ahead on week 6, you can do the drama exam, you can do the reading response, the discussion forum. Just wait until I have the lecture video posted before you do the paper 4 thesis and outline. Just wait. But you may not be able to work ahead because we've got a lot going on this week. As you can see, there is a discussion forum and a reading response, but then you also have the thesis and outline and paper 3 due in the same week. And I'm going to explain why. So normally when we have this split up into a 16-week class, there is a little downtime in between the thesis and the final draft. If this was a normal like full semester class, you'd have a couple weeks in between. But since it's only an 8-week class, we have a lot to get through and we have to condense everything. So unfortunately, you have to do the thesis and the entire draft in the same week. The reason why I do it for drama is because SIC has a lot of drama classes. You can take theater appreciation, you can take intro to drama, you can take acting, stage makeup, you can take like all dance, ballet, you can take a whole lot of things that involve theater outside of this one class. So we don't spend a lot of time on drama just because I feel like we have a lot of opportunities for you to expand that knowledge if you take those courses as well. So we're just going to spend a week on theater. So in our module guidelines here, you'll note that there is a section that is reading a play, a section about tragedy and comedy, which will talk about ancient Greek plays. It'll get into Shakespeare. And then we have the modern theater, which is like American drama, more modern American plays, things like that. They're not a lot of page reading. I think honestly the tragedy and comedy section is the longest. It's about 20 so pages. So just kind of read through that and skim for terms and things like that will help you in your paper. And then evaluating a play is on pages 1678 to 1680, as well as the writing about a play section on pages 1830 to 1840. So there is a lot of reading this week, so I would try to do that up front and do it early while you're thinking about what you want your paper topic to be. And then as you decide your topic, you can kind of move into constructing the paper and reading the other sections as well. But the reading response is basically we normally have done with reading responses. I will say this. You are comparing and contrasting two plays and answering questions about them in the reading response. They can be short plays. They can be long plays, whatever you want to. The plays that you talk about in this reading response can also be applied to your paper. So if you kind of want to double dip, the smart thing to do would be to write and answer the questions for this reading response using plays you're going to talk about in your paper. And some of the stuff you talk about in the reading response, you might actually be able to apply to your paper as well. So you can kind of, kill multiple birds with the same stone sort of scenario, right? Now, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But for me, since you only have a week to work on this assignment, if it were me, I would say I would use whatever plays I'm going to use for my paper for the reading response just to make it easy on myself. But that is totally up to you. You do however you want to. But there are some questions about which plays you chose and why, which chapters they're from. How did the plays serve as representations of theme for that chapter? Which play do you like better and why? So they're pretty basic standard questions. And your reading response just needs to be a page length or more. Can be a page length and you're good, double spaced. As far as the thesis and outline is the exact same as we've done for other papers in this class. I want to pull up the guidelines and kind of talk about your options for paper 3. So with this paper, you've got several options. The options that you have range from, you can either, if you want to go the creative writing route, you can construct your own one-act play, which means it's just a simple short story play that looks like an actual script. This is a lot harder than it looks because a lot of people are like, oh, I'll just write a short story. No, you need to format it like a play. So how you see the plays in our book, where character names are like in all caps, where there's like in brackets actions and stage directions, the way it needs to look like a play in our textbook. It needs to be formatted the same way. And that's where things seem a little bit more difficult than just writing a short story. So, but I have had students do this where they made their own one-act play and it was really successful. They had a lot of fun with it and they enjoyed it. So if that's something you want to do creative writing wise, go for it. I think that could be a lot of fun. But if you would rather go the more traditional route, then you just need to analyze a play from our textbook and use elements from the drama sections that you were assigned for reading. And you need to answer these following questions. What type of genre is the play? And you can expand on that. Like, is it tragedy? Is it comedy? Is it modern American drama? What is it? What terms from our drama chapters apply to it? And there's lots of terms talking about like messengers and choirs and the symbolism and imagery that's used in the plays. Like, you'll see there's a lot of terminology for drama that you can apply to any of the plays that you're analyzing. And then what is the purpose of the play and the significance to the reader? So for example, American drama, you guys will discover this in your textbook, originally was developed around the time of the Depression in the 1920s in America, because people during the Depression, they were kind of tired of going to plays, you know, trying to escape, and then having the plays be about rich people because they were like, man, we're going through the Depression right now. We scraped and saved to get this money to go see a play. The last thing we want to watch about is somebody's first world problems. So American drama kind of was developed as a way to create plays that connected to viewers, that had characters the viewers could relate to, and was a way for them to kind of like find out stories about people that were sharing the same struggles that they were. And that's kind of where that genre was born, right? So I think that you can talk about what the purpose is and the significance of the reader pretty easily with these plays. It needs to be at least 3 pages, 12-point font, double-spaced. Should be an essay format with an introduction and conclusion. You should cite your textbook in MLA and use in-text citations at this point. Next week, we'll talk a lot about using MLA and citations and things like that. And if you have questions, you can always email me to ask. You can also always send your papers to Miss Lane, our English tutor, to have her proofread. I would do it early this week since you only have a week to work on the paper, but you definitely can do that with your research paper. And then as far as the due dates are for this paper, it is due by Sunday the 9th. So your outline and your draft. And then revisions are going to be due the Sunday before finals week. So like I said, at least turn something in to get a grade. But honestly, I've taught this class for several years, and it seems like a tall order to write a paper in a week. But honestly, I've had lots of students do it, and they said it was just like, eh. I picked the easiest category for us to do the one weekend because I feel like analyzing a play and talking about it, most students find this a pretty easy assignment. So I chose the easiest paper to be the one we only spend a week on. But yeah, so you've got that, your thesis, and then your draft being due, right? And of course it's worth 100 points, so make sure that you get that done. But yeah, that's basically it for this week, your poetry. I would try to get your thesis and outline done by Tuesday or Wednesday if you can, and that way I'll probably be trying to grade this week and look ahead and see those and let you know if your topic is good or not, and that way I can get you some quick feedback so you have the rest of the week to work on the paper. But if you have questions, please let me know. I'm on campus on Wednesday and Thursday this week, but I will be grading probably Monday and Tuesday when I'm at home, so if you have questions, I will email you as well. But I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope that you guys stay safe, take care, and yeah, I will be back next week to talk about the final paper of the class, and that will probably be a longer video, so just be prepared for that. But in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Bye.